Welcome to Chai and Chat on the Sis podcast, where we discuss what it's like being women in Western society. Pour yourself a cup of chai and tune in to the conversations. Oh my gosh, I made my chai too hot. Hey y'all, assalamu alaikum, Sister Hoff here. Today I'm going to be talking about adulting. Now, when I was thinking about doing this topic, I knew that everyone was going to have some different answers on what adulting is, what it means to them. Everybody wanted to be something different when they were a kid, when they wanted to grow up. So what I did was I reached out to pretty much all of my friends. I asked them for their input. So what I have is some readings of what people had sent me. I have some audio messages, and then a good discussion with a longtime friend of mine and her experiences and our experiences growing up together and how we became the adults that we are today. So enjoy!
Adulting to me means being responsible for many things on your own. For example, I used to rely on my parents for money until I got a job and started earning my own money. I even began helping pay bills. After getting my license, I started running errands for my family as well. Adulting is about becoming more independent and taking on responsibilities instead of relying on others, like your parents, to do things for you. Overall, adulting is rewarding because you get to make more decisions for yourself without someone else controlling your choices. However, it can also be tough because of the many tasks you'll have to take on.
When I was a child, I wanted to be everything from a lawyer to an actress. In high school, I decided with certainty that I wanted to become a lawyer. I dual enrolled at a community college in Hanceville called Wallace State. I stayed there for another year after I graduated high school. I transferred to the University of Alabama. There, my life was completely changed. I'm from a small Alabama town and didn't get around much, so going to UA was like going to Hollywood for me. No, but honestly, I became the woman that I was truly meant to be at UA. I liked the experience so much that after I graduated, I decided to take a gap year and come back for law school. My gap year taught me so much about adulting. Adulting in your 20s, to me, means heartbreak, transformation, having both huge losses and gains, trying new things. It's an awkward time period as well because you're broke, but you're grown, but not grown enough to not be broke. Right now, I just finished my first semester of law school, and I'm still learning how to adult in my 20s. Maybe it's something you learn more about each and every day of your 20s. When it comes to religion, what's important is that you have to know who you are through whatever religious beliefs you have, or you could lose yourself. For me, who I am, that's Jesus and his example of living.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Ilham. So when I first heard that the theme of this podcast was going to be adulting, and I was thinking about what adulting means to me. Honestly, the first thing, within seconds, that came to mind was when I kind of committed my career to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Imam of our time. May Allah hasten his reappearance, inshallah. And just for context, I'm a medical student, so kind of been in school for many years, and it's a career that kind of has a really big focus on helping other people, just generally, that's kind of what it is. And I'm very, very passionate about the science of it as well. But I remember when I got accepted, when I got the first letter of acceptance to medical school, it was so, the happiness was so short-lived. Genuinely, it was a few seconds of happiness. Genuinely. And I remember my mom being so shocked as to why I wasn't more excited. And it wasn't that I wasn't excited. It was just, in that moment, I realized, I was just like thinking about the fact that this is such a worldly thing that I was aiming for. I worked so hard for such a worldly achievement. Obviously, it's not easy to get into medical school. You have to, it like starts from college, getting good grades and, um, yeah. So, and again, worldly achievements are fine to have. I'm not saying, I'm not downplaying or minimizing worldly achievements. I think that's like very, very, very important, especially as, Muslims. We should try to become the best, in everything. So it's very, very important. But I realize that like what's eternal and what's forever is my relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and like the good deeds that I do, so that is kind of when I decided. And then as I continued to progress in my schooling, I like really, really committed my career to the Imam and to Allah. And I was like, this is for you. And even before I got into med school, before I was accepted, I was praying. And when I was talking to Allah, I was like, you know, this is what I want. But if this is going to take me away from you, if this is going to make me someone who I don't want to be or someone you don't want me to be, then like don't let this happen, you know? So yeah, I guess just to kind of like sum things up, um, I really encourage everyone to. Oh, I think I kind of misspoke in the beginning. When I heard adulting, the thing that came to mind was figuring out the meaning of life. Um, and once to me, figured out that I don't live my life for myself. I live it for Allah and I live it for the Imam of our time. And I live it to promote justice and to spread justice and to try to minimize any injustice that I can. So for me, with my career, I hope to minimize the injustice, the disparities within the healthcare system. Um, Others, can do it in any way with depending on what field you are in. You can minimize the injustice in your field. So once I realized that that was the meaning of or the purpose of my life just became genuinely so much sweeter. And every time I talk about it, it just like makes me so happy because it's like I'm not living for myself. I'm not, you know, this dunya is so temporary. And I think sometimes we get caught up in it. And when we get caught up, because, our careers are really important to all of us, as they should be. But when it becomes such a dunya thing, then it becomes less rewarding. But when you bring Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in it, when you bring the Imam in it, when you make it an eternal goal, an eternal message, it just becomes way more beautiful. It becomes way more sweet. So I honestly encourage like everybody to really do that and, ask Allah to help you, ask Allah to help, um, you know, help you help people. Because genuinely we don't live this life for ourselves. And I think that's something that the American culture has just kind of shoved down our throats. The American culture is a very individualistic culture, which is obviously very opposite from like the Islamic way, where everything is done, it's meant to be done in congregation. It's like Salat Jama'ah is rewarded more than Salah that you pray alone, because they want to promote, Islam wanted to promote that congregation, that unity. Um, so yeah, I think I became, yeah, life has just become way better, and more rewarding with that lens. So yeah, I love this topic. And yeah, I think thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts.
What is adulting? To me, the basic adulting idea is taking care of your responsibility or stepping up, like with chores, helping others, work, bills, family, friends, trying to be a better person, physically, emotionally, or mentally. Taking care of family if you have one. What does adulting mean to me? Adulting to me is more than just stepping up or owning your responsibility. It is learning to be a bigger person, to forgive, to better yourself, learning to make an effort, realizing relationships are two-way streets. It takes two for a relationship to work, whether it's friends, coworker, family, or spouse. Understanding not everyone who is your friend means or wants the best for you. Adulting means to check in or spend time with family or friends every now and then, because life gets so busy and we lose track of time. Make an effort to go see the people we care about, because life is going to move faster than you think. Make time for your loved ones. There will always be more money to make and work to do. Realize to companies you are just a number that can and will be replaced, so don't give up your entire life for something you don't enjoy. Experience isn't something cheap that can be replaced. Not everyone is meant to be a lifelong friend. Sometimes they are only there for a brief moment. Learn from your mistakes and understand why, then don't repeat it. The last one is to understand that with love comes pain and hurt. That is okay because that is the deal we have. Adulting is not easy and is always a constant lesson to be learned from or challenge to overcome. Things take time, and God has a reason for what He does. We may not understand it, but eventually we will. He closes a door and another will open, but sometimes we need to grow a little or go find it. But the answers are there. What did I want to be when I grew up? Growing up, I wanted to be a spy or pirate. Why? 'Cause movies, and it looked very cool. Until I realized being a pirate is kind of gross and not very clean. I like having a usable bathroom and shower, and being a spy didn't seem that realistic-ish. Eventually, I just didn't mind being on an island not working, or just wanting to be stress-free and happy with my life. I've seen too many people unhappy or stressed in life, and I didn't want that. So, now it's just to be happy doing what I like, and being less stressed.
What does adulting mean to me, and what it means to be an adult? Adulting means maturing, acknowledging the aspects of life, being wide awake about reality and your circumstances, and taking accountability over your actions and choices. Being an adult means being mature, wise, the big person inside and out, and being responsible for yourself and others. When I was a kid, I wanted to be an artist and painter or an actor. I realized the reality of those dreams as some that are against what Islam teaches, and read about tragic stories that happen to people in the film music industry. Therefore, I wanted to be a writer. At first, I wanted to produce fictional stories, and I just wrote retellings of my favorite stories. But I realized I am better at writing about realistic stories that are based on myself and my life than creating a fake story and fake characters. I always procrastinate on those stories and felt like they are too much for me to produce, and hardly anyone would read them. So I listened to songs, watched public speeches, TikTok videos, and read poetry, and realized this is what I want to do. Poetry is a form of artistic expression that helps me express my emotions and release my thoughts and feelings in a way that I let out my feelings to make them valid, and also stand with my value and express it.
Back to this adult thing. So becoming an adult doesn't automatically happen. It is a natural process that occurs differently for different people. It involves maturing to the point in which one can be relied upon by themselves and others to carry out tasks or whatever else, keep a secret, for instance, responsibly. An adult needs to prioritize in life, weigh pros and cons effectively when making decisions, control one's emotions appropriately, do not be so selfish in life, think of others before saying or doing things, be patient, be respectful to oneself and others, be morally responsible, learn from experiences independently, and incorporate that lesson into your life. Control jealous feelings over silly things. Realize some actions can affect others as well as oneself. Being humble and appreciative to Allah for what one has and doesn't have. Knowing life is temporary and we are not immortal, lol. And of course, Allah has sent us the prophets and Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the Quran to guide us through it all and to give us the rules to follow, which helps a whole lot. Alhamdulillah, I find doing things for the sake of Allah gives me the motivation I otherwise would not have to act responsibly, to not lose my temper, to not get too depressed, to not get jealous of silly things, to be patient, to be respectful, and to do good deeds. So anyone who is struggling with adulthood, I would advise them to learn about Islam, read the Quran and the story of the messengers, peace be upon them, and learn the stories and sunnah of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and apply the lessons and Allah's rules to one's life, and you will be better, insha'Allah, alhamdulillah, for everything. May Allah guide us all and keep us guided. Life is a lot harder without Allah. Alhamdulillah for everything.
Y'all, another side note. I'm sitting here, Amash is at my feet, he's being all cute and purring, but he's also sticking his tongue out at me and glaring at me. He's mad because I fed him dinner late. I was failing on my responsibilities. Oh my gosh. He holds me accountable, that's for sure. Hey y'all, I'm just cutting in real quick to say, oh my gosh, I love everything everybody's sharing. It's really amazing. I did want to apologize if it's a little confusing with my voice changing up a little bit. I'm bi-dialectal because I speak multiple dialects of the English language, and it switches up and I don't really have control over it. But anyway, random side note, back to the podcast.
Adulting. This is a tough and emotional topic in my perspective for everyone. We grow up wanting to be someone we think we want to be. When we're young, we want to be an adult. And as soon as we become an actual adult and the responsibilities hit us, we wish to be kids once again. I remember being so resilient and feeling like I could take over the world, like I was born to be something big and become famous. It was a feeling I had in my bones. You know what I mean? And then I became an adult, and I think many of my childhood dreams were crushed, not just by my own inner doubts, but the doubts that were put into my head from the outside world, particularly by those people who hold no significance in my life today. When it comes to adulting, I think we should remember to never let go of our inner child. True adulting, I think, is growing up in a world that can be so harsh, yet learning to let go and leaving everything to Allah. We try so hard to control every little thing in our lives, and in my case, I tried so much to be perfectionist growing up. But one of the biggest lessons I learned while becoming an adult was that life becomes a lot less complicated and blissful when you just let go. When you let things just happen and let Allah take control, adulting can be blissful. Adulting can suck, I'm not gonna lie, because it comes with its many ups and downs, but it's remembering the ups in life that remind you that this life isn't meant to be your ultimate goal and that you're not meant to be happy, but rather comfortable. Adulting is prioritizing the things you need in life versus the things you want in this life. Putting your deen over dunya, which I know is easier said than done, but that's how we truly transition into becoming adults. It's when we forgive ourselves for not always succeeding, but for always showing up for ourselves and trying our freaking hardest. Adulting is being able to cry out loud and not giving a crap about what others think of our sanity, because sometimes crying is the best exhale you need to let everything out from within. Lastly, adulting means being true to yourself, even though I still like to live life in my own la la land sometimes and fantasize of many things in my future. Part of becoming an adult has taught me that you should never let go of that child that unleashes your true imagination and can make it a reality as an adult today. That is when we can look back at our baby pictures and cry tears of joy and tell ourselves, look how far you've come, and be so damn proud of ourselves, because ultimately We don't need anyone else to be proud of us. Adulting is realizing it's never too late, you're not behind, and no one has the same timeline as you in this life. You are exactly where Allah wants you to be. So just go with the flow and stop being a stubborn little adult.
I haven't really felt a clear shift from being a teenager to an adult, mostly because my parents taught me to be responsible for myself from a young age. For many, responsibility is the big change, but that wasn't the case for me. What I did notice, though, is that I started to see the world through others' perspectives and became less self-centered. Over the past 2 years of adulting, a lot of my growth has been about shifting my mentality and perspective, learning to be less hard on myself, understanding boundaries, and taking accountability for my actions. Maybe I see life differently because I don't view it in stages, but as a continuous journey of self and personal development. After all, you can be 55 and still as immature as a 15-year-old, just as easily as you can be 20 and have the wisdom of someone much older. Maturity isn't just about age. It's about growth and how we choose to evolve.
Adulting is growth, working to be a better version of yourself when you wake up the next day than you were the day prior. It is constantly growing and learning through your own faults while continuously striving toward your goals for where you want to be in life. It is realizing that growth isn't linear, and we are all on different timelines rather than dots along the same timeline. It is realizing that life is cliché and messy and confusing, but that just like the sun, you too will rise again.
I'm going to read y'all something that my dad just read at the table with my parents and my aunt being there, from Shoshana Ungerleider, the founder of the nonprofit Endwell Foundation. Here are 5 regrets people say at the end of life. 1. I didn't spend enough time with the people I love. 2. I worked too much and missed out on life. 3. I let fear control my decisions and didn't take risks. 4. I wish I'd been braver in the face of uncertainty or opportunity. 5. I focused too much on the future and lost touch with the present. Unger Leider's advice for getting ahead of those regrets is simple. Remind yourself that your time is limited and unpredictable, and regularly ask yourself some big, important questions. How do I want to spend my time? What matters most to me in my life? And to that, my aunt said, and that's why I bought myself a motorcycle. Everybody, I have here with me my best friend, Mia. We've known each other for a very long time.
Hello, world.
We don't want to share how old we are, so we're not going to say how long we've been
I'm
friends.
21.
Anyway, we have had to experience becoming adults together. Correct.
Yeah.
So,
You
Mia,
can't get a refund, so that's unfortunate.
this is true. So, Mia, I've given you some samples of what other people have said, and stuff like that. But and obviously, like, you can look on social media and hashtag adulting or whatever. But, like, for you, what is adulting?
I'm trying not to look at you so you don't laugh.
You can look at me. It's fine. I love you can see my face.
I guess adulting for me kind of happened at a young age because I became a young mother at 18. I feel like adulting for me is taking care of yourself and others, financially and, in every way that you can. Like, you become the parent of somebody else, then you just become the real adult. It's difficult.
Yeah.
It has ups and downs.
You didn't get to take it slow to becoming an adult.
No.
Like, some people are like, I'm gonna just take my time.
Yeah, but I feel like becoming an adult is like a process. Like, I don't feel like I really felt like an adult until later, like after 18. I'm not gonna say how late because I'm not gonna say how old I am.
It took a minute.
But yeah, it took a little while, even though I was doing adulting things. But yeah, I guess taking care of others and taking care of your children and your responsibilities.
And you can still have a lightsaber as your text message
Yeah,
ringtone.
always.
So
I have the Peaches song from Jack Black as my ringtone.
So being adult doesn't mean you can't be fun.
You can still have fun. Adulting isn't all terrible. I mean, a lot of it's kind of bad. There's some good to it too.
I don't have a curfew for how long I'm playing
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah, I can play video games Well, now that I'm old, I just fall asleep at like 10 o'clock, so it really doesn't matter
I read
anymore.
books.
Yeah.
Or like that. When you were little, actually, no, I do want to know this. When you were little, maybe we'll say different phases, because like I talked about my different phases. So when you were little, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, at first I wanted to be a housewife because I play with my dolls a lot and it seemed fun to stay at home while
We're
my
on
dad
the
went
same-
to work.
We're on the same page here.
And then, as I got older, I was like, oh, it'd be cool to be a veterinarian. And then I was like, oh, it would be cool to be a lawyer. And then I didn't go to college, so I didn't really do anything.
When you were in high school, what did you want to do?
Veterinarian or a lawyer, either one.
You
of
did
those two.
ROTC for 4 years, and you were just like, oh.
Yeah, I don't like people telling me what to do, so I just did ROTC because we got to go on a lot of field trips. We were never at school. So.
I let people tell me what to do, so I didn't have to be at school.
But you know what? I did pretty good at that. I made it to command staff, which is like the highest ranking you can get. So I did pretty good.
I feel like ROTC was like adulting in high school.
Yeah.
I don't know, just because
Yeah,
you had to have a
good.
uniform and you had to like show up for stuff
Yeah.
and like be organized and whatnot.
But let me tell you, we went on field trips all the time. Y'all get to stay at school.
I
I
had to
went
stay
on
at
field trips.
I got to do field trips to drama club.
Not as
Not as many as ROTC.
We had drill meets, we had color guard. Yeah, I did all the stuff.
But you had to do marches and stuff. They had to work.
Yeah.
So even though
It was kind of fun now.
it was preparing you for the real world,
It was really fun for me when I got to boss other people around. That was good.
it prepared you for the real world when you could do things that were fun that other people couldn't do, but you still had to work for it.
Yeah. It's rewarding when you have to work hard for something, even if you don't like being bossed around. It's still rewarding because, like, before I was on command staff, I became the color guard captain. So I got to command the color guards, and we won trophies and stuff. So it's rewarding.
Who gets to keep the trophies?
The school. It's probably still there.
So unfair. Everybody gets a trophy, but actually the school does.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's fine. That's cool. They can brag about it.
Yeah.
So, interesting. Now that you're an adult, what do you want to be when you grow up?
A housewife.
Housewife?
I don't know.
Being a housewife can be fun.
I mean, I would like to be a housewife, but financially it's just not feasible. So I'm doing healthcare stuff in school just because you always have a job with that. And right now I'm doing healthcare management since my radiology thing didn't work out. And I'll try radiology again later probably.
Yeah.
But healthcare management will get me some kind of job.
So basically, I guess, for like a lot of other people out there who I know have a lot of young women, like my small group and stuff, and some of them are like, no, I'm going to do this. This is what I want to do with my degree, you know, and they're just so dead set on it. And maybe not understanding how, like, just life can cause a change in that. But
yeah, like, I was dead set on the radiology, but it's, what's the word? Competitive at my school. And the competitive GPA was 4.0, which I have a good GPA, but not a 4.0, so I didn't get in. But the healthcare management classes lined up with what I had already taken for radiology, so I was like, may as well get something. I don't want to leave school with no degree, so.
at least you're not, like, giving up on it completely. Like, I could go back to eventually, like...
Yeah, no, and I could go to a different school and probably get in easier with a healthcare management degree already. And that shows that, you know, you're committed to, you know, doing something. Getting a degree takes a while. Like, I'm getting my associate's, which is typically 2 years if you're a full-time student, but I've been doing it for, what, 4, 5? So.
You should have a bachelor's degree by now.
Yeah. Single
But
parent.
But
Makes it
yeah.
hard. It's better now that I'm moving.
Yeah.
My husband helps a lot.
Well, you and I both didn't go to college right out of high school.
Nope.
We went and, like, worked. I did trade school.
And then we partied.
And then I did not. I went to trade school. Anyway. I did hair and I moved it. I kept moving a lot. I did not party with myself. Yeah, I watched a lot of TV.
That doesn't sound good.
I watched a lot of TV. Way too much TV of other people partying, I guess. But I think going to college and university later in life, we have a different approach to it. It's not so much like... It's weird because, like, as an adult, I'm like, I have deadlines. I have to get this done by this time, by that time. But when I was 18, I was like, no, you have to finish college before you're 25.
Yeah, my parents actually had me sign up for college when I was 18, and they paid for some of it too, and instead of going to college, I went and moved in with my boyfriend and got pregnant. So, yeah, I think it's definitely better, like, if you are really undecided and you're just not sure if you can commit as, like, a younger person, I think it's better to wait a few years because, I mean, 30 isn't that bad, you know? Like, 25 isn't that bad. If you want to go
Yeah.
to school later when you're more mature, because I feel like my maturity didn't hit really until, like, 29. So,
I mean, 21.
yeah. 21 plus 9 minus 9.
But yeah, I took college. I did change my major like a bunch.
Yeah, me too. Originally, I was doing dental hygienist the first time I went.
I was gonna go be a hair instructor,
Yeah.
and that's just like, I don't know, it just changed. And somehow, anyway, got to where I'm at with the degree that I have. At least you stayed in like one field. I jumped.
Yeah, I mean, I guess dental hygienist is like healthcare as well, but I was just really like, it's not really something I want to do, I guess. It's just I was thinking about financially because I wanted to get out of fast food. I worked in fast food forever. I don't make any money. Like, it's hard. I spent my son's whole childhood working 50, 60 hours a week. So I just really want to get out of the food industry, and I figured healthcare is the way to go. And maybe God will open some doors, and I'll figure out, you know, what I'm actually supposed to do. But right now, I'm just kind of going with the flow and just trying to better myself.
Only dead fish go with the flow. Okay, I'm just kidding. Sorry. I'm not gonna... You're just going with swing... whatever life throws at you, you're just kind of going with
Yeah, I'm just trying to better myself, and even though I don't really know what I want to do, I figure it's best to work towards something. So the healthcare management is like a generic, broad thing. You know? And I can build on that in some other type of way. Like, maybe once I take these last 3 classes this semester, I'll be like, oh, I really like doing this, or whatever, and then, you know, just go from there.
It's like sometimes in life, you don't have to be so focused on the details.
Yeah.
It's like,
and it's okay to not know what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like, I still don't know what I want to do. Like,
I'm not ready to grow up yet.
me neither. I got one foot in the grave. I don't know what I want to do. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that old. I'm just kidding.
I feel like I'm having that midlife crisis.
I'm getting there. I don't
A lot
know.
of people get a midlife crisis and go back to college, so.
Yeah, there you go.
That's why
Feel
I got my
young.
master's degree.
I mean, my grandma went to college. I mean, just because the government would pay her money if she went to college, but
I
she
wanted to
went.
be paid to go to
She went. I
college.
mean, I technically get paid to go to college. I haven't paid for any of my classes.
I actually, because I went to college later, and I was past the age where you have to put your parents down for, like, your financial aid, I was really poor, so, like, I got so much financial aid. I would not have been able to financially go for college, because my parents were not paying for my college.
Yeah.
So that's what sucks about the system, how it works, is that you have to put your parents down, and I'm just like, but they make money, but they're not paying for my college. Like, the government
Hashtag
just-
adulting.
The government just assumes, oh, your parents are still taking care of you if you're under 25. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Some people's families, and I think it's great. Like, as a parent, I would like to be able to do that for my kids. But I didn't grow up in a house like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, no, you go to college and then you go and move on with your life.
I feel like luckily for me, although, you know, I think we've all made bad decisions in our lives at some point, but luckily for me, my parents have always, like, been there and been supportive when they can, and I think that that's really helped me. And I feel like I want to give back to them, so I feel like going to college and making money and trying to provide for my kids how my parents provided for me and give back to my parents is a really good goal, because I want to make 6 figures.
That's like a goal.
Yeah.
I think
I'm working on that.
You shouldn't be afraid of setting goals like that.
Yeah.
You know, like, and some people might be like, oh, she's an associate's degree. You know what? People got no college degree, no high school degree, and they have 6 figures.
True,
Like, just
true.
chill, y'all.
Yeah.
Just do something, and it's okay to want to change it, you know?
I've changed so many times. My original major when I was supposed to go to college the first time was Spanish. Because I wanted to be a translator, because I just think that would be fun.
Hey, her kid just counted to 6 in Spanish a minute ago.
7.
So, I counted the 7.
Yeah.
He didn't count the 7. I said
He
the
was
7.
thinking about it.
He was
just
thinking
getting
about it. So the Spanish came to you somehow.
Yeah.
You never know. Like, I don't feel like... One thing about adulting, I don't know, I love knowledge, and I love learning things. I don't know, I love college. I don't know why I loved college, because, like, I get to learn so much. I don't really socialize with anybody in this class, and they're talking about what they did last weekend, and I'm like...
That's why I always sit close to the door so I can leave immediately.
It was
before
like
somebody
last
talks
weekend
to
I
me.
was reading a book or something, or
Yeah.
watching a documentary. I was going to bed.
Yep. That's my favorite thing to do.
Well, the neighbors next door were partying, because I was in the college town. So, oh, we hear the dog barking. By the way, if anybody hears a lot of background noise,
We're having a party.
we're having a party at the halfway house. Actually,
The halfway house.
We do call my mom's house the halfway house because there's always...
Sounds like the halfway house.
Because there's always people at their house all the time, either staying. Somebody might stay for a weekend, a week. Right now, I don't know how long I'm staying. It's been a few months.
Well, I should just move in too.
You can just move in too. They've got plenty of space in the basement. She'll be like, get 18.
Yeah.
I think you're better off with your parents.
Yeah.
Go to your parents' house.
Don't bring that pregnancy anger over here.
Oh yeah, she's also pregnant, so that's another thing, adulting. Okay, adulting, so you had a kid at 18, well, 19. You got pregnant at 18 and had to become an adult really young. And then now that it's been some time, what is the difference for you now with having another kid, but like with all that experience now? Because the first kid you had no experience as an adult. This time you do.
Honestly, I don't even remember like my pregnancy before. Really, it was so long ago, so it's like all new again. But it is nice this time because instead of a baby daddy, I have a husband to spoil me. So
Yeah.
It's kinda nice.
Well, I mean, like also like dealing with just life in general, like the things that would have made you.
Anxious with the first pregnancy compared to what makes you anxious with this
Well, as an
pregnancy.
adult, I'm now medicated, so that's nice. That's helping my anxiety a lot.
She's not afraid of medication.
I used to be afraid of medication, but
Yeah,
now
I
I'm
think
not.
there's just so many things that we were afraid of as
Yeah,
when we were young.
yeah.
We were afraid of this,
Being
afraid of that.
diagnosed for mental health, whatever, and just, thinking it's less than. No, it's not. All adults have it.
I think-
I don't care if they say they don't. They do.
Yeah,
Everybody.
there's just too much stigma, and I feel
Yeah.
like stigma and stereotyping really affects young people, and I think it prevents them from wanting to go out and do things, having their own opinions. I mean, I'm coming across
People I know in my personal circle who are older than me have what you would think is their life together, but they're just now like hitting certain markers like socially and emotionally that I was at in high school.
Yeah.
Like being like when I was in high school, I feel like I was more inclined to like want to agree with everybody and not make anybody unhappy. And
Yeah, I
should
wanted
just-
to be everybody's friend.
we just have to do whatever makes everybody happy, and I should support everyone's cause because that's just the right choice. When I'm an adult, I have no problem being like, I don't support that cause.
Yep.
I don't support that country. I don't support that
You
government.
start losing the fear of backlash and losing friends or whatever because you realize when you get older, you know who your real friends are.
Yeah.
You can not talk to somebody for a year. I don't care how long. Not see them for a year. But if they're your real friend, you can talk to them, call them the next day, and they're like, oh, it's like we never got apart.
Yeah.
It's,
Well, that's how you and I are. Like, we won't talk for like a month, and then like just call me. Like, what are you doing?
Sometimes I just
I'm
get
just at the grocery
exhausted.
store. Oh, what are you buying? I'm doing this. I don't know if you.
and we just start talking about
Yeah.
whatever. We
I
get
think
excited
I'm
about
like so socially exhausted now as an adult. Like I don't want to talk to anybody.
It's like, what are you doing?
Recluse for like months.
I'll be like, oh, I'm just doing laundry. Yeah. I'm at the grocery store. Oh, what's on sale? You know, like that's the interesting things that we have.
I do love grocery shopping. I discovered that.
Grocery
It's fun.
shopping, too.
I don't know. I like it. It's like probably one of my favorite parts of adulting.
I go to the mall and I'm thinking, I just want to go to the store right now.
Yeah.
Like I had when you came to visit me at my house in Virginia, and it was like, let's go to the mall, and we're like, let's just go to Target.
Yeah. Grocery shopping.
We have the whole mall. We go to Target. We're walking in the grocery aisles. Like
oh,
hashtag adulting.
This will be fun to make for dinner, don't you think?
I'm like,
Cooking and groceries. That's fun stuff.
those are the fun things for us. But I mean, everybody's different
Yeah,
for
true.
for everybody. But yeah, now I know what you're saying about like the friends that matter because I don't feel like I've lost any friends with voicing my opinions. I was, when I had social media, I was unfollowed by somebody. Somebody who I actually love and respect, but it's like because we both have opposing views on a specific government, but it's just based off of our backgrounds and our relations to that government, and so I get that. Like, we have the same beliefs and causes and passion, but when it comes to something like that, and so yeah, I was kind of a little bit like, they unfollowed me. But I don't blame them because of what I was posting on social media.
That's like the new age trauma, the new age hurt. Oh, they unfollowed me.
They unfollowed
Wait a minute,
me.
I only have 1,014 friends. What happened to the other 2 friends I had yesterday?
And we're grown adults too.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, and this is somebody who I know personally and like have spent time with and stuff. So, but yeah, like I have people in my circle and adults that I know that they're hitting that phase that we were in high school. We're hitting that phase that we were in high school, and it's like being able to voice how you feel about something, and some people, they get so offended that if I don't support something, and I'm just like, well, I don't care.
Well, that's another thing about being an adult is like realizing everybody has a difference in opinions and being okay with people differing in opinions.
Yeah.
Like, you can have a debate and maybe get a little heated, but you could still be friends with that person just because they have different views.
Yeah. Like, I have obviously very different opinions than my family, and we all have different opinions. Like, different religious beliefs, different political opinions. But at the end of the day, we have to just, like, love each other, kind of because we have to. But, like, why waste a relationship just because you have different opinions?
I think also talking about your difference in opinions with other people helps open your eyes and the other person's eyes.
Yeah.
You know, to kind of, like, just see, like, the way somebody else sees. Like, okay, I can understand that, you know. But, like, this is still how I feel, whatever.
Yeah. It helps you to seeing how they're, like, seeing how somebody else views the world, like, their lens. And you can learn something from it. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was so shut off from people for so long on, like, different views. Like, no, this is what I think. This is what I believe. And then once I just started, like, talking to people, I don't know, and just opening up to listen to other people and not having to make a comeback, then it kind of changed things for me. I mean, I would have never spoken to a Muslim in my life because of the views and how I grew up, how I was raised, and the environment that I was in. But then I guess I was in a situation in Alabama, you know, of all places.
I feel like I started studying Muslim stuff before you were even Muslim, though, because I played these online games on my phone, and you know,
a grown adult playing online games, making friends
in different countries, and they were dudes, and I liked them. I had crushes, you know, and I was like, oh, I would totally become like a Muslim to be with this guy, whatever, blah, 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 you know. But I researched it, and I was like, oh, actually, I like that. Like, it's good to open your eyes to other things. I mean, I'm still a Christian, but it's like, I don't disagree with Muslims.
Yeah,
you know?
You're not wasting your time arguing or fighting.
Yeah, no, like, and some things for, like, Muslims' perspective, like, makes a lot more sense to me than from Christian perspective, you know?
Yeah.
I consider myself, like, a freelance Christian.
Freelance Christian, oh my gosh. So, adulting, too, like, being open to still learning, because it's like, people think you stop learning after you graduate whatever degree or whatever it is, but you don't stop learning. Like, you know, you have people, no matter what age you are, learn something. Not saying you have to go and believe that. Like, I can study a different religion,
can still study it and see how other people see the world.
Yeah. And having it in your back pocket, because it's amazing how many places that I've gone and I have had people walk up to me, and the first thing, like, I try to not have a bias, but I'm like, they're gonna say something to me. Are they gonna say something to me? But then they're just like, I'm so curious, like, about how you're dressed. Like, can you explain to me? And they don't automatically assume. Some of them do, but they're really polite about it. But then they actually genuinely want to know, like, why am I dressed the way I'm dressed?
Do you remember that kid in the airport that said, or who was it? Somebody said, "Hey, look at the ghost."
Oh, that was. I was in like a Walmart forever ago, back when I shopped at Walmart, and I was wearing all black. Head to toe, and I was going on a camping trip. And this kid's, like, running. It was in the morning, too, so there's, like, nobody in the grocery. This kid's running away from his mom down the aisle, and he goes, "Oh, it's a ghost!" And then I waved at him, and he laughed and ran off. In the airport, I hit a kid who said, "It's the ghost of Santa's past!" And then his parents were like, "That's not nice. You say hello to somebody when you see them." And so then I waved at them, and then they were like, "Hi." And then his sister was staring, and he's like, "You should wave at people, not stare at them." I actually really appreciated that parenting. Because, like, growing up, it was always like, don't stare at people.
Yeah.
So,
not be nice, not talk to them, just don't look at them.
Yeah, like, so if somebody who has a disability or they dress differently or whatever, we just avoid them. And I'm like, I don't think that's a good behavior to have. Because when I have grown adults who I can tell clearly were raised that way, where they just stare. Yeah. They just stare, and then they have, RBF usually. I actually explain this to a lot of my friends who are raised in Muslim families, and they're just like, these people, I went to the South and they're judging me, and I'm like, how do you know? Did they come to your face and say something Islamophobic?
We just all have RBF in the South.
They're just curious because they don't see people, and it depends on how you carry yourself, because, like, I have to explain to so many people the culture. This is the South. The culture's so different. Like, I walk in, I'm covered head to toe, and I say, hey, how's it going?
Yeah,
and then you just disarm people, and then they're nice and they hold open doors. You go to the North and people are just, I don't know.
As a Southerner going to the North, I feel like so many people are rude. Like, I mean, my dad's from Brooklyn, New York, but me going to the North, if somebody, looks or talks to me some type of way, I'm going to get my little sassy attitude.
There's a lot of clashing with people. I'm like, what's up with the Northern people?
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, he did not hold open a door for me. Because it's our culture. Or when I go to a restaurant, I was at a restaurant in Michigan, and I ordered something. I was like, "Do you guys have hot sauce?" And they're like, "What?" I was like, "Hot sauce?"
Or sweet tea.
Like, I think we have some. They had to find hot sauce in that restaurant. It was full. It was a full bottle. I was, you come to the South, you got like 8 empty bottles of hot sauce on the table.
Get you a little Tabasco bottle, stick it in your purse.
I know. I got some Cholula hot sauce packets.
Cholula's
I saw some somewhere and I took them at a hotel and I put them in my purse. Adulting. You would take anything that's free. Look, I paid for that hotel room. I was allergic to almost everything at breakfast, so I took a handful of hot sauce packets. I paid for them.
We just went to the hotel for my brother-in-law's wedding this past weekend, and I made sure I took all the soaps, all the little notepads and the pens, and the tissue box.
That's broke adulting.
I mean, they're just going to throw it away and replace it anyway. So. Get my money's worth.
Adulting. I'm trying to, like, bring it to, like, figure out how to bring it back.
Well, another thing for adulting for me is it's a change in what I wear. Because, I used to want to be skimpy and sexy and all this stuff. And, like, the older I get, I'm like, I just want to kind of, like, cover up a little more. I don't know, a little more modesty. Like,
have I been rubbing off on you?
I don't know if it's that. I think it's just I'm like, I don't have my young body.
No, I just say me too.
Because
I got people ask me why I cover this. Like, the kids, you don't have to dress that much. And I'm like, so? You don't have to talk about it. Like, right. I do hold my... I have to... The hard thing about being adulting as a Southerner, and especially when you travel outside of the South, which means anything north and Florida.
Yeah, I'm not saying Florida.
And Florida. Florida's not the South, y'all. It's not. Trying to hold your tongue and not say something sassy. That's adulting.
Or you could be like me and just not hold your tongue.
So, there's a time and place.
There's
a time and place.
I think that's another thing too is I've learned a little bit of grace and restraint as an adult.
That Southern Belle charm.
Not so combative.
Yeah, no. Southern Belles are sweet and graceful, and there's a reason why we put so much sugar in our sweet tea. We need it. We need all the help we can get.
Oh, I need some caffeine.
I don't know many people from the North, so I'm not sure what. But I mean, there's going to be your dad. There's different things that for him, I guess, getting used to the Southern mannerisms.
I don't know. My dad's still pretty northern. He talks to everybody. He knows everybody. We can go to a different state.
My mom knows everybody.
It's so weird.
My mom doesn't know everybody, but she will make sure she knows you. She will walk inside, get her nails done at a nail salon, and walk out and tell me that person's life story. It's always dramatic, so I really think they just make it up for people like her. She was like...
Or she's
missing everything they're saying because she can't understand. But this guy used to do her nails, and she came out to me saying he and his brother had to escape the Vietnam War by swimming across the river. It was just insane. I'm like, this could be a real story, but at the same time, because I am Southern and my mother is quite Southern, it could be a fake story too. She could just be like elaborating. I don't know. So... that's part of seeing the world in different people's eyes. If anybody comes to the South, they're not going to believe anything we say now. But these people exaggerate and...
these people crazy.
They're crazy. Up north, they're very literal and blunt. And for me as an adult, I've had to learn to not be offended. I had a northern person over at my mom's house, and mom was like, would you like it, whatever? And they're just like, no. And my mom goes, oh. And then she just, walks off, and I had to go to mom on the side, and I was like... Mom, they're from the North. They just say no. They don't say, we say no thank you, yes ma'am, yes sir, no thank you, whatever. We say please, yes please. We don't, that's just how we talk. Whereas up North, they're to the point. I get it. I've had to spend time with Northerners to see their perspective and why. Just like I've had to spend time with friends who are of, their parents are immigrants or their grandparents are immigrants or whatever, and their different culture. But I feel like that's part of adulting is getting to connect with people. And
that's one of my favorite parts is different cultures explore. I've always enjoyed that even as a kid, exploring different cultures and stuff.
I think America's the best opportunity for that. Because where else in the world are you going to find so many cultures that they can preserve their own culture and living in another culture? You're not being forced to assimilate, It's what they call it, the salad bowl.
Star Trek, the board. Anyways.
Anyways, I digress. We're like a big salad bowl. I've heard them say salad bowl. It's just a mix.
On Star Trek?
No, I'm talking about America. Focus. Back on page, Mia. She focused. So, anybody who's like 18 or younger, they're going to be like,
what are they talking
What are they talking about? These are grown adults. Yes, we make this.
Unsubscribe. No, I'm just kidding. Don't subscribe.
All 3 subscribers. By that. Because it's like, sponsored by water. The thing that keeps you hydrated. It's absolutely free.
By God.
Everything's free. See? Water's free. The most ridiculous thing is paying for water is the most ridiculous thing to me. Yeah. As an adult, you will find out things that are also more ridiculous. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much, I guess, like covers more than enough of what is adulting. I mean, we could go on for like hours and hours probably.
You don't have a receipt, so you cannot get a refund. I tried to get another adult to adopt me. They wouldn't do it.
Yeah, so. Sorry. Somebody tried to get me to adopt their teenager the other day. I was like, She's like, yes, please adopt me. I said, I'm not sure if you would like my house more than your mother's house.
Well, thanks for tuning in. Come see us next week when we talk about... What
are we talking about next week? Like, we'll talk about, I don't know, something that I guess links to adult. Everything is linked to adulting. Again, this adulting. Hashtag adulting. I hope y'all enjoyed today's podcast and found something relatable or something to take away from it. And until next time, Assalamu alaikum.